Hey guys, I was just sitting here and you know, I was thinking about what makes an artist. Are you an artist? Am I an artist? All these kind of things. And I think a lot of people, they try and determine, is this an artist, or is he a good artist? Is he? And I think the big thing about art is that it has to be anachronistic, which is it has to be of that time, and 50 years from now, 100 years from now, looking back, was it of that time? Did it capture the emotion? Did it capture the politics? Did it capture the time? And I think a lot of paintings are stamps in time. When you look back at a 60s painting, you go, well, it looks like it's from the 60s, and it captured something of that era. And it experienced something of that era. It could have experienced JFK's death, or, it was there during those times, And I think that's the most important thing about artwork is it's a marker in time. Once you create that painting and it's signed or dated 2019, you have now put a mark in time, you know, and it might not show something today, but 30 years from now, it might show something that we never saw. And I think that's the important thing about art is that the artwork should say something down the road, okay? Whether it be the use of colors, whether it be the technique or what you're capturing. And that's something that, you know, I I try I don't try to look what my painting is going to look like 30 years from now, but I definitely try to be as honest as I can in my creations to definitely capture everything I'm trying to feel as of this moment. Because this moment never comes again. Even as I'm speaking, that moment just left. So it's very important. It's almost like a documentary where you just, you know, sees that one snippet, that frame, that still frame of a camera. And so that's why I try to stay in tune with myself when I am creating to really capture what I'm feeling at that very essence in that very moment. A lot of it, like I said, is through action, through my movements, through my energy, through what I'm going through in my life. And a lot of times the paintings have a little more meaning than I even express. There's hidden meanings in my paintings that I don't divulge, and they're there, and they're very personal to me. And I don't. I'm very reluctant to share them with my collectors or with anyone else because it's something that's very deep in me, and I don't like to divulge that. Not that I'm scared about that or anything. It's just it's very close to me, you know. So I like to put all my emotion into the paintings, but I also feel that the paintings are, they're taking away from me. I feel like I've left something on that painting, and it's a scary process, but it's also a beautiful process, And sometimes after I paint a piece, I feel very exhausted, And it's not from the exercise or the movement of the piece. It's just I feel exhausted uh, because I've given so much to that piece that I feel spent, And it feels kind of depleting. But when I look at the end result, I can see that I did what I had to do, in the piece. And that's I think what I try to do with all my pieces, with all my paintings. They're acrylic and spray paint, and some pieces I've even utilized diamond dust, as a tribute or as a homage to Andy Warhol, early Andy Warhol prints. So I've used the actual real, genuine diamond dust, not on the painting, but on actual gishlis or glacis of photographs and things like that. And it just gives that shimmer. And again, very very Andy Warhol inspired on that. So pop art has truly been, always, a staple in my work, and that's something that, over the course of almost 30 years, it hasn't changed. I'm not a realist painter. I don't paint scenes that depict something almost photographically. It's abstract. It's pop art. It's expressionism. It's something that, like I said, is something that I have to voice. And you know, if you really read deep into my works, you will see different things in them. And if you really, really study my works, you will see things that I'm trying to say. And this is the magic of painting, is when others see what you are creating on a very deep level. And that's something that, is the magic of painting. Um, I love the art scene. When I used to live in Toronto, I used to love going to the galleries, and I remember, in the early days, bumping into Eli Langer. I remember bumping into all these early artists of the days of Toronto and the galleries from the 90s, and all these different types of artists. And and like I said, even General Idea, and it's it's fascinating how time goes by, but good art still sends a message, and that's where, I want my works to be able to send that message to the viewer. And that's important to me, and that's something that it's not always easy to do. There's a lot of paintings I create that I will either go on top of, or I'll destroy, or I won't let into circulation, just because I don't feel they're what I am feeling. And that's something that is kind of frustrating, because I probably could sell that painting, but I'm not going to, you know, because I don't want, schlocky work out there of mine. I don't want something that was, put together quickly, or, that it was just, my mind wasn't into the piece and it didn't come out right. It has to convey a message, just as if you're writing a book. You want to, write the book properly so people can understand, what you're talking about. So to me, it's a big thing, and it's frustrating, because it's a waste of materials, it's a waste of canvas, it's a waste of time, a lot of cases. But this is the strife I go to, or through, to create these pieces. And it's, if you watch some of my videos, you look at some of these pieces and you go, look at this, it's created in no time, or it looks pretty like a kid could do it, or whatever. And this is something where you don't see behind the scenes the process, and the preparation, and the mental preparation before I create a piece that I find suitable for sale. So those are all important things, in creating my works.